Hey guys, I'm Jessie, and today we are going to talk about a few of my favorite middle grade fantasy books. Lately, I have been really into reading middle grade. I think it's fast to read, it's fun and whimsical, it's not too dark and heavy. It's a great palate cleanser between some of my heavier, darker fantasy books that I tend to read. And also, my oldest child, my daughter, is in that age of where she's starting to transition into middle grade. And I love being able to read these books. A lot of times I will read them first and then pass them on to her. Sometimes we will read them together, but it's all really, really great. And I think it's a good way to kind of connect with her, share my love of reading, and then we can, love something together and share it with each other. But these are kind of the 5 that I am really, really loving right now. And I think whether you have, children of that age or whether you just want to read some fun middle grade fantasy, these are going to be really excellent choices for you. The first one is Even and Odd, and this is by Sarah Beth Durst. One of my favorite authors for adult fantasy, and then she also writes YA, and then she also writes middle grade. She actually has a bunch of really cute middle grade books. So it was hard to pick just one, but this one kind of edged it out because it has a unicorn. In this book, we have a kind of very magical contemporary set world. And there is a magical world and the regular world, and our people that we're following are in the regular world, but they are magical and they live on a border town and they run a border shop. And what that is people from the magical world, when they cross over, they can kind of shop there, get what they need, and then, go about their day. Well, at some point, the border starts kind of going on the fritz, and our 2 main girls, Even and Odd, which is their nicknames because they are sisters, but they are not twins. They are these 2 girls, and they actually share their magic. So Even can do magic on even days, Odd can do magic on odd days, and they can't do magic on the other's day, and they're not really sure why. This is not normal. So when the border starts going on the fritz, they kind of go to check it out, right? Them and a young unicorn who has been trapped as well. They manage to make it across, but then they can't get back. So the whole book is their kind of journey to get back home. So they're trying to figure out why everything in the magical world is going on the fritz, as well as how they can get home to their parents, because they are just young kids. And it is so good. I love it so much. It's just sweet and wholesome and a fun magical book. It reminded me a lot of that Disney movie Onward. I don't know why. It just gave me a lot of the same feelings as Onward, and I really loved that. Next up, we have City of Ghosts, and this is by Victoria Schwab. Again, one of my favorite authors in general. She writes a lot of YA and adult fantasy, as well as some middle grade. And in this book, we are following our main girl who had a near-death experience, and now she is able to see ghosts. Well, her parents are paranormal investigators, and they have this paranormal investigation TV show. So they travel kind of all around the world visiting the most haunted places, but they don't know that her daughter can actually see ghosts, help them cross over, and that her best friend is a drowned ghost boy. And it is adorable. This first book takes place in Edinburgh, and then every subsequent book in the series, so far there are 3, take place in different places. I think the second one takes place in London. No, Paris. The second one takes place in Paris, and then the third one takes place in New Orleans, and it is so cute. Next up, we have Seraphina and the Black Cloak. This is by Robert Betty, and this book is so adorable. It is also a series. I have not read the rest of them. I did just pick up the second book. This is set in the Biltmore house in Asheville, North Carolina. And I lived in Asheville, North Carolina. I have been to the Biltmore house. I have been on the French Broad River. I've been all of the places that it discusses in this book, and I know a lot of the mountain folklore that it also discusses. So to me, it was really exciting because I'm I know this and I know that. And so this is a historical fantasy because it's set in the prime of the Biltmore house, when it was just built. The Vanderbilts were living there. Currently no one lives there. It's a place you can go see, and it's a historical site, right? But our girl Seraphina, she is a little strange, right? She's not quite normal. She's very cat-like, and she lives in the basement unbeknownst to anybody but her father. And her father is one of the like engineers that works on different machines at the Biltmore house. And it's so cute. We follow her as she's trying to like unravel this mystery of why all of these children keep disappearing from the grounds of the Biltmore estate. And she ends up like making her first ever friend with one of the Vanderbilt boys. And it really is just such a good book. And I think just the setting, that Biltmore house, like I can see it in my mind because I've been there so many times, right? I love it. Then we have Amari and the Knight Brothers, and I read this recently and absolutely loved it. Anyone who says this is like a middle grade Men in Black is absolutely correct. I feel like it is a middle grade Men in Black. We follow Amari, and when her older brother goes missing, everybody just kind of chalks it up to like, well, maybe he was into drugs or maybe he was in criminal activity, because like no one really knew what he did for a job, but he had this like really well-paying job because he could send money back, but like nobody knew what it was. Like it's a little sketchy, and she knew. She's like, I know he's not dead. I know, you know, whatever. And one day she gets like a message from him, and she is invited to join this like supernatural society basically and go to this summer camp where she basically learns about, you know, the whole supernatural world as it may be, and like kind of they train them to protect the supernatural world. Well, things don't go as they should. They're kind of crazy, but it is so good. I feel like telling you anything else would kind of give spoilers. I don't want to do that, but just know that this book is so good. And there's some really cute friendship in this book that I absolutely love. And yeah, it's just good. And I need the second book. I think it either just came out or it's coming out really soon, and I need to get my hands on it. And the final middle grade book that I want to recommend today is Nevermoor by Jessica Townsend. Again, I actually just finished the second book and I need to read the third one, but it is absolutely adorable. We're following this girl named Morgan Crow, who is a cursed child in the regular world. And basically she's cursed to die on her 12th birthday. And when that event happens, someone comes and swoops her away. This man, Jupiter North, comes, swoops her away, saves her, and brings her to the land of Nevermoor. And she kind of has to enter into this like competition in order to join this like magical academy. And she's still not sure why. She has no idea who anybody is. She's like not sure why she's there, because everybody in this competition has like a gift. And she's like, I don't have a gift. I don't have, you know, anything that makes me special. And, you know, she starts to make friends, and she makes some really, really cute friendships. And a lot of people are real skeptical of her, and I absolutely love her. And I love Jupiter North. I think he's a fantastic character. I don't know why, I just love him so much, and I loved him even more in book 2. But this is such a cute series, and if you want to read some adorable middle grade, read it with your kids, like this is one to go with. All right, guys. Well, those are my top 5 middle grade fantasy books that I have read recently and can like highly recommend to you as either an adult reader, a YA reader, or even somebody that like is a parent that wants to read with your child that's like at that middle grade age. Like highly recommend all of these. If you are a teacher and you want to put them in your classroom, all of these are going to be perfectly, at least in my opinion, age appropriate. Like they're not spicy, or there's no romance, or it's not gory, but it's like really well done middle grade, like as it should be. So yeah, if you're looking for some middle grade, pick these bad boys up. I don't think that you're going to be disappointed in them. All right, well, now let me know what your favorite middle grade fantasy book is, because I'm wanting to add to my ever-growing collection, especially for my daughter. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. My name's Jessie, and I will see you next time. Bye.